Hello everyone, my name is ClaudiaTorres, and today I'm gonna tell you more about my lesson planning. So first of all, I created two lesson plannings. The first one is for teenagers, as you can see, and the other one is for adults. So these lesson plannings they take into account the previous exercise, the previous task, which was task 4, and it was about the creation of some worksheets, yeah, to work during the classes. So what I intended with this lesson planning was to explore all the communication skills, yeah, and also I try to mix up all the learning strategies that I really like. For example, we have cognitive, visual learning, tactile learning, kinesthetic learning, also auditory learning, and sociological styles. Why sociological styles? Because sometimes during the class, I like the students to work together. Could be in pairs, could be in group, and some other times I prefer, yeah, students to work by themselves, and so that's why I try to use the different sociological styles. Auditory learning, when I use a listening practice, a listening activity. Kinesthetic learning, when we use surveys and they have to walk around the classroom, they have to ask their classmates, they have to move. Yeah. Tactile learning is, yeah, very similar. Yeah, but it implies that they have to touch, they have to maybe write, right? So visual learning, okay, when I use flashcards or pictures or any other visual prompt to help them, yeah, to work, yeah, and cognitive when I, for example, especially when I'm trying to teach a new grammar structure and I highlight, for example, the adjective with one color. I use color coordination. So I try to help them to understand, okay, the different categories of words, yeah, to make the whole grammar structure. So now for this lesson plan, the topic is present progressive. And the activity objective is to talk about actions happening or occurring at the moment. So here we have the class description, resources, and time. So for the class description, first we have the warm up. Okay, so this stage is very important because here the teacher helps to activate previous knowledge that the students already have. So for example here, yeah, so I try to use flashcards. See flashcards. In this state, it doesn't require many time, just 5 minutes. Yeah. So I elicited some pictures, yeah, to activate previous knowledge about activities. So vocabulary about activities. Because remember, we're going to talk about activities happening at the moment, so they need to know vocabulary about activities. So in this stage, I asked them to write 5 activities on a piece of paper, and they had to mime, yeah, mime to add them out, to ask their classmates, I mean a partner, to guess what was the action. And at the same time, encouraging the students to talk about activities. Yeah. But in the next step, the presentation is very important because as a teacher is the time where I try to teach the new grammar structure. So for the present progressive, we have the subject, we have the verb to be, and then we have the main verb plus ing at the end of that verb, right? And also some time markers like right now, at the moment, etc. So in this stage, I gave them a handout, yeah, to work during the class, and in that worksheet they will find the grammar structure to make the sentences. And I also asked them to use the grammar structure, to model the grammar structure with new sentences. And after that, we had some practice in the same worksheet, as you can see, this time for 15 minutes. So it takes longer because, in this stage, they had to read the questions and look at the pictures, and they had to answer. So I'll show you the worksheet for that one. Yeah, where is it? Okay, it's here. As you can see in the worksheet, you have the presentation, okay, here. So there's the grammar structure, see, and the time marker, and some charts to help them. And then for the practice, we have some pictures and some questions according to each picture, so they had to write the answers. And after that, now it comes the production part. So for the production part, which is the final one, so they asked to ask their partner about the missing information to complete the chart. So I really like this kind of activities because I'll show you. So here they could choose partner A or partner B. So let's say that they chose partner A. So for each partner, they had to write in this space. They had to write activities for each blank, for each square of the table. So for example, Mark, and here let's say that it's eating. So Mark is eating. So they had to ask their partner, what is Mark doing? And then they had to answer. It was like a work in pairs. So as well, it's a very dynamic way, to arrange the class. So they can interact with their partners, and they are improving their speaking practice. So after that, they had to listen and write. So they had a dictation task. So according to the listening, they had to write the sentences that they were listening. Okay. So here, and then they had to write a short paragraph after that, but this is in the notebook. Okay. So they had to write a short paragraph about activities that their classmates are doing now. So they had to use the present progressive structure, right? After that, they had to check their partner's text. And it took 25 minutes. It's supposed to take 25 minutes. So the materials, here you will find some of the materials: whiteboard, markers, flashcards, recording, for the listening part. And also speaker, computer, worksheets, notebooks, pencils. And then for homework, or could be a quiz, or an assessment. So students will make a list of their favorite activities to pretend they're doing those actions at the moment.